Hello, I thought of trying another time. In a realistic revolution, you first get small voter groups in the nation. And they are going to increase here and there, but most people are not going to be in them. Then when more people like to go over into this revolution, you most likely don't have one sudden moment when everyone is all of a sudden going to join into it, but it's going to take a couple of days, most likely, when there's more and more voter groups and delegates emerging in the nation. But it may still not be more than a couple of percent of the whole nation, because most people are not very interested in politics unless the situation is quite dramatic. If the situation becomes dramatic, then you could try to assess a certain street or a number of streets, whether it would be ready to engage in the system, and then to ask, then do the system. Women go besides the houses, ask who wants to join in this whole area, but because maybe not too many people yet want to engage into it, you may get fewer voter groups per street. But that's not a problem, because it can always grow into more later. So this may only yield, say this is many hundreds of homes, this perhaps only yields one voter group. Most people are not engaged into it. Then when this becomes more entrenched into the people, they tell each other, and in 3 weeks maybe more people like to join, and there is maybe a total of 30 persons left over. There's 55 in this group, and maybe they can find another area with another 25 per adjacent area, and then they can form another voter group. It grows and grows, and it can reshuffle itself, because if there is then another 80 persons here, these could say, well, let's leave you in your area with other people, and we form a voter group here with a couple of these. And then these could form a group here. So it is a dynamic situation, most likely, in as far as this system for itself is concerned, but it is also dynamic with respect to the parliament, because in this this is only part of the system, is Revolution 4. There's also the political parties' effort, which is going to engage in the vote. So while the vote groups are emerging, which is the revolution, the political parties are also starting to emerge, and they would gain ground in the elections for the parliament. Then at the same time there is these political parties can obviously support the revolution in a variety of ways. At the same time there is a funding effort . Scheme 2. So in the economy, the financial system is going to be engaged with funds which are all of a sudden starting to affect the economy. Because of this financial effort, there in this entire movement, say, these people are going to learn how economics works and how currency works. So not only are the investors taken on, the democratic investors, but also the legal system of how the currency is initiated and distributed, minted, because the knowledge in the whole movement increases and the political parties are taking over the parliament with the knowledge of how to install a real currency. This really looks like the end of the financial system and the true takeover of the power towards the people. Meanwhile, this democratic funding creates businesses. So at the same time you have democratic businesses emerging also, which would feel more safe because they know there is a system in the future which is going to allow them to be embedded into, also with respect to the price competition from abusive companies, which would be severely reduced by border tariffs and overwhelmingly having democratic companies in the system. Then of course it's even better than that, because we have the military arm also. Military defense of free speech and assembly. Scheme 5. So even if the certain forces think we're going to engage these people, we're going to put them at the end of a gun, on the wrong end, then say the tyrannical military forces are going to be having to contend with people who are ready for this, who are going to engage actual acts of brute force tyranny against people who want to speak and or assemble for political purposes. And obviously one of the